Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I do want to give all honor and all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, whom I've learned this 1% truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect who are scattered in the four corners of the earth. Again, shalom. I'm Brother Kapasha, Tabernacle 4443, coming to you once again with a brief lesson. And Lord willing, it'll be edifying. I'm gonna go right into it. We all go through tests, and when you come to serve the Lord, let me get the scripture. Let me get it. Let me bring it out, because serving the Lord, Israel, it's. You're gonna go through some tests. You're gonna go through some trials. You're gonna have trouble sometimes among your closest family members. You can't rely on your own friends in this truth. You gotta walk this thing. You got to serve the Lord. Within the spirit. So therefore, you're going to have to be ready to cut ties with everything and everybody that will hinder your walk with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This walk gets lonely sometimes. You see? You can't rely on friends. It's good to have a friend, but you have a friend only for only so much if they're walking with you, because two walk together except there be agreed, roughly paraphrasing. You can't. So if you got a family member, you got so-called friends and associates and things of that nature that's hindering you from doing this work, this truth, going out on the highways and the hedges, doing it alone, you got to give up everything for this truth. You see, this truth is first and foremost Israel. All right, all right, now let's read the scripture, because these are important scriptures that we use to encourage and edify the elect. You see, all right. It reads here, Ecclesiasticus 2:1 reads, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation." You see, we go through different trials, man. You got to put the Most High first and foremost. I know I've said it one time, but I can't say it enough. You may lose your wife, you may lose your children, you might get kicked out of a camp, but nonetheless, you want to do this work and do it and be sincere in doing this work. Don't hold grudges. Don't allow your mind get distorted and twisting the truth and making up your own doctrines and things of that nature. Keep the 1% truth. Fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's a command that we fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because we work, we are to make our bodies a living sacrifice. You see, we don't know, none of us, as the hopeful elect who are out here on the highways and the hedges and doing these lessons, know if we're going to be saved or not. You see, but we hoping. That's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect. You see, so just keep doing the work and stop crying, and also trying to blame others. because of your mistakes. You see? You can't blame anybody because of your mistakes. Those are your mistakes. You see? So if you get kicked out, you get out there, you do the work. Ask for forgiveness and get out there and do the work. You see? Love the Lord more than you love your own life. In other words, Israel. These are just a few words of encouragement. Let me go back to this scripture again. It reads here, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright. You see? And constantly endure. It said constantly endure. So you don't love nothing more than you love Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You don't even love yourself more than you love this truth and do what thus said the Lord, thus said the Bible. Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. Keep going out on the highways and the hedges, teaching the 100% truth with all sincerity, not holding a grudge, not trying to get back at anyone, but in the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. He's the one that you need to, be approved of. You see? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You see? It says here, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble. Because we're going to go through some trouble, Israel. We're going to have troubles. You see? You're going to have some setbacks. You're going to have some letdowns. You're going to lose everything. We're going to lose everything. We got to look to lose everything. Homes, cars, family members. You may even lose your own life. But nonetheless, you're going to gain it if you die in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua doing this truth. You see, so it's a win-win for the elect men. Lord willing, I'm one of them. You see, it says here. So therefore, we must endure and continue to keep these, continue to do this work and continue to feed the Lord's sheep, and that we may hear Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua said, well done, my good and faithful servant. That's what we're doing this thing for. We're not doing this to be friends or to be, in the brotherhood. It's good to be in the brotherhood. Don't get me wrong. Camps are beautiful, you see. But nonetheless, what if you get kicked out, for a mistake or, whatever, for whatever reason? It doesn't matter, but that's a test. That's the test that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is putting you through, Israel. I mean, you through as an individual. It says here, set thy heart aright and constantly endure. That means that you're going to have to be diligent in this, and that you're going to have to gird up your loins and be a man, you see, and keep doing this truth, you see, and not to slander anyone, you see, not even hold grudges. This thing is not personal, you see. This thing is, you can't be in your emotions in this truth, Israel. Look how Yahushua was humiliated. And he taught the truth, you see. But yeah, he was humiliated, spat on. They call him Beelzebub. They call him all kinds of, unrighteous and unholy names and things of that nature, because they were jealous. They wanted to keep their positions, and so to speak. And you're going to have the same thing going on today. It's always going to be opposition. So therefore, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. You see? Cleave unto him. Cleave unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua even more so. Pray that the Lord keep you in this truth, Israel. Don't fall out just for any mundane reason, you see. Don't be trite as such. You see, it said, cleave unto him, cleave unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Put 10 toes down, continue, work harder, try to do more lessons. Learn these scriptures, learn the breakdowns. You think that nature. Apply your mind to this spiritual knowledge. Get this spiritual food, this spiritual nourishment. You see, it says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. You see, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that, that restoration, you know, that increase at the end, that rulership. You see, you know, it's worth all of it. It's worth you going through the trials and troubles. It's worth you losing your family, your homes, your cars, and your material possessions and things of that nature. This truth is worth it, Israel. So make not haste, you see, and it reads here, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at the last end. All right, and it reads, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. You know, don't get all bitter and distorted about it as to where you're going to be disenchanted and not trusting in this truth, the word, not doing the work, giving up. You know, don't be that. Don't be that person. Don't be, you know, just do the work. You know, I can't stress it enough. It says here, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. You know, you get kicked out, you don't have your position anymore, so what? You know, unfortunately, you know, that's a test that the Lord is bringing you through. How much you going to, you know, are you going to continue to follow and do this work? Or are you going to be soft and wimpy and give up because your feelings were hurt? You was humiliated. Man, I've been humiliated so many times throughout my life. It's a crime. You know, I can't even, you know, I can't even begin to remember them all. Only thing I can tell, you know, you brothers, you know, get some hard skin. You know, you know, don't wear your feelings and emotions on your sleeve, on your arm, where they can be easily gotten to. You know, man up. Shit. All right, it says here, all right, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Because we're going to lose everything anyway. You know, we might be on the move during Jacob's trouble. But the Lord's got his elect people, his elect men, you see? All right, and it reads on, it says here, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. You know, trials, troubles, all these things that we have to endure on this side. But keep calling on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Pray to him, trust in him, put your faith, everything that you have in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Not in yourself, not in brotherhood, not in a friend. They'll let you down. A friend will let you down. You see, a so-called friend will let you down. You see, men, you can't trust. You can't trust in, you know, you can't make flesh your arm, your to rely on, so to speak. You see, I don't even have the words, but nonetheless, I think you get the point. So, you know, that's my little bit today. All right, so I hope it's edifying to somebody, you know, to some degree. Lord willing, it's just encouragement, because, you know, I see brothers on YouTube page that done been kicked out, you know, but then they get bitter, they get sobbing and things of that nature. You know, shit happens. You know, it happens. Just continue to do the work and continue to try to be brotherly. But nonetheless, you know, if you know, even if you got to walk alone, you got to walk alone. That's it. That's just how it is. But do this work and be sincere in doing it. Don't waste your time trying to get back at brothers. You know, they're working for their own soul salvation, just like you are. This thing is a self-walk as well anyway. You see, you don't know when Jacob's trouble, you don't know if you're going to trust the brother that you did the work with or not when Jacob's trouble comes. You know, man, I've been around a while. I know how things work. All right, okay. Lord willing, you're edified to some degree. All right, but with that, I'm going to end it right there. But before I end it, I must give all honor and all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rekakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, whom I've learned this 100% truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect who are scattered in the four corners of the earth. Again, Shalom.